Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Give us a 5-star rating. It massively helps us out. Enjoy.
But obviously from the top of the league
to the not quite the very bottom actually, but potentially the very bottom. First managerial sacking.
4 games in.
As of this morning.
Scott Parker.
Mr. Scott Parker, RIP.
I'm fuming.
He's lost to Arsenal, City and Liverpool, and they beat Villa.
Yeah,
three
out of the top 6.
Yeah. 3 title contenders.
I don't know what
we should probably evaluate this properly because
there's got to be a bust up.
It's not a results based sacking.
He's got to have shagged the director's door.
I don't think it is. I just think
weird going on there.
He's been slating the board and his lack of backing for a long while, right?
Exactly. So I think in the meetings there must have.
Just had
they had the worst transfer window out of anyone else in the Premier League.
He just didn't get the backing.
They were the team that needed it more than anybody else. And when you get promoted second place in the Championship, you do get money. Yeah. They just weren't spending it. If you're telling me the best piece of business they did was Ryan Fredericks, I'm sorry,
Marcus
it's not good enough.
How much do you get for finishing second in the Championship?
And Marcus Tavernier, it's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Championship. I feel for Scott Parker. He obviously had intentions of signing some big names.
Yeah.
But the board didn't allow it and they thought they could run it on the low.
Look what Forest have done. 17 new players.
It's a risk.
It's a big risk. But at least they've Bournemouth signed 2 players?
Yeah, but
3, I think.
Forest, if they go down,
they're fucked.
Yeah. Absolutely
There's no denying
out for years as well.
Yeah.
If Bournemouth go down, they're up next season.
Yeah.
Look, yeah.
They are. It's facts.
But a lot of fans a lot of Cherries fans aren't necessarily too happy with the way that Scott Parker comes out in the media, because obviously.
Put me in the info you got.
No, it's just he's so articulate and well presentable that it's never his fault.
He's a well-spoken
but he's always pointing the blame at the board.
Well, speaking of the board, here's what they've come out and said.
Yeah.
In order for us to keep progressing as a team and as a club as a whole, it is unconditional that we are all aligned in our strategy to run the club sustainably. We must also show belief in and respect for one another. That is the approach that has brought this club so much success in recent history, and that will be... hang on.
And one that we would not veer from now.
Yeah, basically, there's been a big old bust up and they don't like Scott Parker, do they?
Yeah, I think when they said as well, it's like a mutual parting. I don't think either of them like.
Do you think it's just? Are they basically saying Scott was begging for transfers and they're going, mate, it's not sustainable. We can't go out and buy all these players. And you're like, well, fuck you. And then they're going, fuck you. And then they're going, you're fired.
Yeah. And then in post-match interviews, he's like, well, this can't really get much worse. I mean, wait, it can.
After the Liverpool game, Scotty P said, I feel sorry for the players because we are just a bit under-equipped at this level.
Yeah.
From where we've come from, what we've been, it has been difficult.
I'm sure the players didn't take that great. Oh, you're not good enough.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
it's a bit rough, isn't it?
You could have said, we understand we don't have the perks of other teams, but we will fight.
Yeah.
He never really said, we will fight. It was just like, yeah, sorry, lads, we can't compete.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some listener reactions to the Scott Parker sacking. Someone said, a 9-0 defeat. Forget the opposition. This is Premier League football, not Sunday League. A team in the Premier League should not be beaten 9-0.
Well, Ralph Hasenhüttl should be out of a job then.
Spot on.
That's not how it works.
Every year.
Yeah.
And they played, they must have been shattered from playing 3 of the top 6 consecutively.
Exactly.
Having the hardest start in the Premier League with the least equipped team. He could have got it right, but they didn't give him time.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack Turvey said Hasenhüttl lost 9-0 and he's still doing a good job at Southampton.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I didn't even see that coming.
But there's another way of looking at it, because we've already all written off Bournemouth.
Yeah. So there aren't any expectations. Exactly, yeah. There's no expectations for them to not get relegated.
The owners are thinking, okay, we're down.
We're down anyway.
The odds of not giving any money back for us staying up. Nobody believes in us. So let's just take a risk. Bring in another manager.
I know who it's going to be.
Them up.
We all know who it's going to be. The man, the myth, the Dyche. Sean Dyche.
No.
Is
that actually happening?
No, it's not.
No, it's a rumour.
It's going to happen. I've called Dan Burn. I'll call Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche is happening.
It is a very
confirmed to Bournemouth.
Theo Baker, ITK.
It is a very Sean Dyche.
Get it on the shorts. Get it on the TikTok.
He's going to Bournemouth, ladies and
He's
gentlemen.
seen the contract signed. He signed it.
I am the one that brokered the deal.
Bournemouth is a very Sean Dyche club as well at the moment, the way it's set up. They've got Kiefer Moore and Dominic Solanke.
And you can go chill on the beach.
I would love to see Big Sean back in the Prem.
Sean at Bournemouth with Kiefer Moore would be lethal.
Oh.
Lethal Moore.
Well,
double-figure goals, I reckon.
Speaking of a manager who also might get relegated and sacked, Maybe not relegated. Gerrard, he lost to Villa, and Gerrard lost to Bournemouth, and they're on the same points as Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, to be honest. We've spoken about it quite a lot. I think he's definitely the next to go. I thought we'd be first to go. The fact that this Scott Parker sacking has come out of the blue is like,
I'd like to say that my Villa
shocking,
6th in the Premier League prediction was a joke at the time. And sometimes you have to say things just to get a few laughs.
How many did they
Roll
get?
the clip.
How many laughs did they get?
None.
Okay.
Just slated.
So it's either Rodgers or Gerrard, let's be honest, right?
Or Bruno Lage.
Really?
What's he done?
What do you mean, what's he done?
What's he done?
Not won a game.
Well, he's got points on the board, and Wolves look pretty good. They are having returning injuries as well. They've signed Guedes and Nunez. There's definitely forward progression there.
There's backing from the owners, but is there
with Aston Villa, they've brought loads of players in, and they look like a shit show. So, and Leicester, they're not even getting on
Villa
there.
have won a game.
They've won a game.
Yeah.
No.
Leicester haven't.
Wolves
haven't.
I know they haven't.
Everton haven't.
Yeah. Right. I don't know.
They're all down. There's no way he gets sacked.
There's no way Lage gets sacked.
They believe in him, but I'm throwing him in the pot.
Rodgers.
Obviously, Wolves fans will probably be screaming like, well, you haven't won a game, and you should have. You had the easiest run. You played Fulham. You played...
They're no pushovers, though.
No, Wolves had the easiest run. And now they're facing loads of the top six.
They got Bournemouth next.
Yeah, and then look after that. Look at the next 4 games.
New manager ban.
Look at the next 4 games.
New manager ban is over for
so
Wolves.
Bournemouth is done. Yeah. And then they play the top 16. No, they have one of the hardest runs in the Premier League now, and they should have picked up points. Good example, everybody bought in Pedro Neto on fantasy.
I didn't.
0 return. 0.
Got Pascal Gross in now.
And for those first 4 game weeks, he should have picked up
the only reason that looks bad is because everyone wrote Fulham off as a team that were going to get bullied in the Premier League when they've turned around and proved themselves that they are here to stay.
Yeah, they are.
Beyond that, they didn't really have the easiest run.
Fulham are staying up.
Newcastle aren't an easy team. Lewis will agree.
Oh no, we're the hardest team
They got
in the
a point. They got a point.
Well, Man City's
They
good.
got a point against Newcastle.
Yeah.
That's successful.
Yeah.
You compare this to Leicester, who played Brentford, Southampton,
Lost
teams that
at home
they should
to
have
Brentford.
beat.
Do you think...
No, they drew.
They drew at home.
That's
to
the only
Brentford.
point they've got.
And they lost at home to 2 teams.
Southampton.
That was the weird one. 2-1. So I think it's Southampton.
Do you think Leicester... Obviously Newcastle are trying to get Maddison, aren't they? If they lose Maddison, are they and they've lost Fofana, are they actually in trouble here? Because they're not signing.
They're probably
anyone.
better off, mate. They don't look like they care. Fofana's gone number one. If they lose anyone else,
Madison
is coming us.
Is balling out and nobody else is.
Madison's
weird.
arguably their best player, Maddison.
Yes,
he's currently injured.
But his mind isn't Leicester City. His mind is, I'm gonna bang this free kick in and then maybe a little bit.
I think that's completely. I think he gets too much shit because he makes a couple of TikToks every now and again.
No,
I love James Maddison. I think he works his socks off every time.
I don't think his heart is in Leicester City.
I think he deserves to be a top 6 club.
Yeah. No, you love him. Don't you? And then he went to Arsenal. You wanted that move.
I wanted that move. I really rate James Maddison.
He fits now though, but
he's got the most goal contributions of an English player in 2022.
Other than Harry Kane. Yeah, it's good.
Why is he not in the England squad? Why is he not getting?
Yeah.
Why is
just
no top 6 player?
position?
I've seen Maddison play for England. I believe it was at home.
He needs
to
a run of
Albania.
games though.
I think it was not Kosovo. At home to Kosovo, he was alright, but we already have players like him.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But my point is, he's got the most goal contributions. Why is he not one of the leading ones to start? He should be. If you take in form.
So he's taken out Mason Mount or Phil Foden.
But you've got to realise who the manager is. Southgate wouldn't remove either of those players. So there's no universe where Southgate would put James Maddison ahead of Mason Mount at any point.
I know, but I'm just saying the stats say otherwise.
Should be. Yeah, he should get a look in, but...
Maddison for Leicester, he is the centre point of the attack. He's on set pieces.
I agree.
It's like when Grealish was at Villa. He was the main man.
Yeah,
They are screwed if he goes, by the way. Like, fully screwed. Because who do you...
They are, that's true.
What, their replacement is Dennis Pratt. Oh, right, decent, yeah.
They got Harvey Barnes.
If he's not a James Maddison.
I just signed 3-year deal.
Maybe you could sign... You'd score 10 goals.
I've just signed a 2-year contract there already.
I reckon you could get more stats than Dennis Pratt in the Premier League.
Well, actually, speaking of that,
including penalties.
I've actually had quite a few tweets about this.
Oh yeah, just for a sec. But Leicester are in a position where Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall is now their most influential player. When a season ago, he was
they need Vardy to start firing again.
Massive
he's an amazing baller.
And his heart is in the club. He is smashing it every week.
But they're
the way
struggling.
he takes the ball and drives through in the midfield and also tracks, mate. The guy, that's who we should be talking about for England. I mean, one day.
Yeah.
I know
KDH,
most people don't watch 90 minutes of Leicester every week, right? But whenever I see him play a proper full match, it goes under the radar, but he is so consistent and high quality. When he goes, Leicester is screwed.
But that'll be
he'll stay. He'll stay.